I got started because I've just been passionate about food for a really long time, and gardening was the next progression in being connected to my food. So I started a garden. I'm originally from Illinois, and then I moved out here, and one of my student friends was involved in the garden, and she needed someone to take over, so I got involved that way.
I mean, this is what I want to do, like, forever, so I'm probably a little bit biased, but
forever and ever.
Forever and ever. But I really like working, you know, there's something kind of beautiful about having your hands in the dirt. You know, just being outside and being active makes you happy, makes everyone happy. But then, too, if you stick with it the whole way, when you harvest all the food at, you know, June kind of, but then July and August, and you have this abundance of food, it makes me happy.
All right.
I think it's, you know, just being outside in the sunshine is wonderful. I think getting your hands dirty is a great experience. You know, obviously, like, just mobility, like, you have to move your body in ways that you don't normally move, and I sit at my desk all day, so I love it.
Well, you're on your feet all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think just being outside and working and being active burns some calories.
Just people in general need to know more about their food and where it comes from and what is involved in, you know, all of it, and so I think that would just be another important part of knowing your food.
I think it's a fabulous idea. I think that you need to have enough manpower to make sure that it is successful before you start it. But yeah, I mean, I'm totally behind it.
Several different farms and projects have shown that you're able to grow a large amount of produce on a small amount of land. So I think that capacity, I think seasonality is a little tough, and but I think the students at DU are awesome, and if that's something that they're really passionate about, then they should go for it.
Yeah, I mean, health benefits, obviously, you know, I mean, ideally, you guys wouldn't be spraying pesticides or anything. There wouldn't be any contaminants from transportation, you know.
Do you mind if you're filmed?
Say it again?
Oh, yeah. Do you mind if you're filmed?
Oh yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Sarah Roth.
All right. How long have you participated in this garden?
This is my, I want to say, 4th year participating in the garden.
Okay. Can you tell me about some of your experiences, like why you got started?
I think some of the successes have been the awesome community and people that I've met through the garden, and just access to great food. And some of the challenges have been our garden is moving, so that's been a huge obstacle in, like, figuring out what's next and kind of building out a new garden.
All right, sounds good. What do you believe are some of the physical benefits of working? Do you think, so not just physical, but do you think there's emotional too?
Totally. I mean, I think especially in a community garden, you get connected to people that you may not otherwise meet, and I think that's a really special connection. But certainly spiritual, being connected to the earth, those are all things that run deep in our humanity.
All right. So with those considered, what do you think the greatest benefit of a garden is? Or this garden, any garden that you've participated in?
I think there is something, like, innate in people that is connected to the earth. So I think it's the connection to the earth and eating food that you've grown yourself.
Okay.
Specifically, like, a vegetable garden. But flower gardens are awesome too.
So here's the idea that we're thinking about is a purely student-ran and maintained garden, maybe a permaculture garden, that would be implemented into the dining halls in DU.
Yeah.
So do you think, first of all, do you think this would be a sustainable idea as far as sustainable for cafeterias to serve produce from, like, a garden?
Yeah. In certain
idea like that
ways,
could be transformative
yes,
for, like, the DU community?
100%.
Okay. So the next thing, do you know a whole lot about GMOs?
I know a little bit about GMOs.
Oh, okay. Well, basically, this is for my friend. He's asking what your opinion of GMOs are as far as health impacts, environmental impacts.
Sorry, So like generally, I guess my response to that is like they're a negative thing, and there's been a lot of stories of seed companies manipulating farmers and making it harder for them. But I also know that there are positives where they've added vitamin A to rice, and that's been a positive impact for a lot of people. So I think it's like not a black or white issue, that there are a lot of questions that have to be answered.
Going forward, would you like to see GMOs labeled in like anywhere that serves food?
Definitely.
For what reasons?
I think.
All right, and that's gonna be it.
Great.
Thank you.
Good luck.
All right. Could you repeat your name again? Just quick.
Aaron.
Okay. How long have you participated in this garden or any gardens?
For 2 years.
Okay. Can you tell me about like some experiences?
1 year.
Okay. Can you tell me about like experiences, like how you got started, why you do it?
So I got started. I didn't take Megan's class, but I took another class on sustainable agriculture. And then I studied abroad in Thailand, where I worked on organic farms there.
Okay.
And I got super into sustainable food. And I just kind of decided that farming and gardening is the way that I want to participate.
All right.
So last year I did an internship with Sprout City Farms, and I worked there. It's just an urban farm. They provide food for the community and for the school. So I did that, and now I'm in a couple weeks I'll move and do another community garden project in Moab.
All right. What are some of the obstacles you faced? Community gardens.
Money.
Okay. All right. Can you say a little more about that?
Well, if you want to do urban agriculture, and not just in community gardens, there's not a lot of paid employee work, so it's mostly on a volunteer basis, which makes it, sometimes you have a lot of people like today, and other times you have 2 people. So I guess that, just money and then lack of people would be 2 big barriers.
All right.
And time as well. People don't have time
like
to
a big
garden.
one. What are some of the physical benefits of working in a garden?
Well, you're on your feet all day.
Okay. Okay. What about emotional? Do you think there's emotional benefits?
Yes.
All right. So thinking about that, what do you think the greatest benefit of a community garden is? Or
Definitely food. Definitely food, healthy food for the community, for you, for your family.
Okay.
Bottom line.
So do you think if we created like a purely student-ran garden that we could like implement into halls for food, like produce, do you think that'd be a good idea or a sustainable idea? Do you think we'd be able to do it? Okay, and do you think that there'd be a difference in serving like fresh garden produce as opposed to like the current produce in halls or the DU community? Like, do you think there's a benefit, or there'd be a benefit in actually serving like fresh produce? All right.
That stuff.
Well, that actually kind of brings me to my next thing. It's
Perfect.
almost done. This is for my friend on GMOs. Do you know a lot about GMOs?
Yes, I do.
All right. Could you tell me like what you think about them? Health impacts, environmental impacts.
Well, from an environmental standpoint, they're definitely not sustainable. Just the way that they're used. From a health standpoint, there's research on both sides, and none of it is really conclusive in terms of health benefits. But just me personally, I'd try to avoid them.
Okay.
I don't really know what they do to my own health, and I'm sure that in the long term they can't be that good for you. So.
Would you like to see them labeled in the future?
Yes.
Okay. Could you explain why? Like, what do you think labeling would do for
I think
GMOs?
people are buying products, myself included, that they believe don't have genetically modified organisms in them, like corn. But I think a lot of people would be surprised to see that corn is in soy milk. Corn is in ketchup, corn is in batteries, soy is in all this stuff too. And I think it would just help people make more educated choices. And I think they have the right to.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, thanks.